pylon or some tech without your opponent noticing.
Well, let's see what Terminator has brought out to the table.
Here he is, Terminator, 6-6 so far this season, 2-1 against Eric, and his last 2 games are wins, so overall, you know, he's got to be feeling at least decently confident. Maybe a little bit nervous, though.
Slightly nervous because he is facing off against one of the best Zergs in the world.
Yeah, arguably the strongest foreigner right now as well.
Strongest ZVP player?
Definitely. Definitely. And let's find out
who that is
going to be. I think we already know. It is Stephano. He's already getting out of the booth.
Oh, it seems like he wants to get something.
Oh. He's probably going to get his, like, maybe his little plush or something, his cheerful.
Well, he needs to make sure that that gets through the metal detector.
Ah, yes.
There's a small, you know, the metal detector that, with the bar? That, that the security used to pretty much check if you have weapons or something like that.
For Proleague.
Yeah, they actually use that for Proleague. Did you actually see that in action?
I don't remember if I did. I may have, but I don't know. There's so many times I've been at the airport and they wand me down and I just like zone out.
Yeah, well, they always have that at Proleague just to make sure the players do not cheat, bring in extra stuff into the booth. I mean, if they have something like, you know, paper notes, they can find that easily and pretty much take it out. If they bring in a USB, it's going to be harder to find. However, with the metal detector, no problem.
It's kind of hard to get away with a lot of that stuff anyway because, I mean, they're playing in front of the camera, in front of an audience, so...
And behind them, the referees are sitting 24/7, watching the screen. I could feel for the referees when we have like a really long match there. They always need to stay awake, watch the player's screen, and make sure everything is going perfect.
Yeah. So there's Stephano. He's back in his booth. What did he get? We don't know. Maybe we'll figure. Well, maybe we'll find out in the near future.
So it seems like we're not getting any... Okay, so I just heard about the Kesper rules, and once players enter the booth, they cannot exit out.
Oh, so is he going to get punished?
No, they're letting it go because of Stephano. Those are, you know, more detailed rules that even I didn't know about.
Yeah, I think most people probably didn't even realize that.
Yeah, once they enter, they can't get out.
Also,
until they type GG or they win the game.
He's a foreigner. It's kind of understandable if he doesn't know about some of the rules, especially something like that. So, I mean, if they didn't let him off for that, I'd be like, come on, dude, really?
Yeah, I mean, Kesper referees have been more lenient on the foreign players.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're going to get a lot more flack if they aren't, if you think about it. So, I mean, yeah, that's the situation.
They are aware of all the flames they got from Team Liquid.
Yeah.
After the late PP incident.
They did.
All right, so players are getting ready, and with Stephano entering the booth again and getting the headset on, as soon as both players enter the room, pretty much type in the chat saying, I'm ready to play the match. We're going to go into it.
That'd be cool to have a pro gamer named SpongeBob. He's just typing in the chat over and over, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready.
That would be really annoying, and Kesper referees, they might even give him a warning for it.
They probably would.
The players are ready, so let's go into set 3, Terminator versus Stephano. Spawning on the top left position as the blue Protoss.
Blue? You mean orange?
Or orange Protoss.
Like
I said, I'm still colorblind. It is going to be Terminator.
And his opponent, one of the best foreigner players out there, it's Stephano from Evil Geniuses, Team Liquid, spawning as the blue Zerg.
Hey, like I said, I'm colorblind for today. But good news is that we don't have any more mirror matchups after this, maybe except for the ace match.
More good news to add to that is that you won't be colorblind any other day. It's just today.
Just today. That's what I get for going to arcade before coming to work.
Indeed. This kid loves his music games, man. All day, every day, music games.
Mm-hmm. But Day 9 is still much better than me, so
No.
he's a master. I talked to him in real life about music games, and he knows his stuff. Like, he actually stated on one of the dailies that he loves the music games, and that wasn't a fluke. Like, he's really great at them.
That's cool. Always good to see StarCraft community members with multi-talented, able to do a lot of cool, different things in life.
Mm-hmm.
So Stephano is going for the 14 pool. That's the standard opener against Protoss players nowadays. You won't see anything else. Probably 95% of the time. This is what you'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can open up with something a little bit more aggressive, maybe like a 10 pool. If they want it all in, they can go for the 6 pool, maybe a 7 pool. And sometimes you'll see Speedling opening or a Hatch first, but those two builds are quite rare.
Now, Terminator is going for the 17 Nexus.
Yeah, he is. Also very standard for Protoss against Zerg. Pretty much one of the most common builds you'll see nowadays. This is a very standardized game as far as the openers go.
Mm-hmm. Trying to harass as much with the probe as possible.
Just be annoying. It's not going to really work though.
Mm-hmm. And the Forge going up, but the Zerglings are already out on the way.
They are. So we haven't seen too much on this map, Echo and Flats really, as far as this matchup goes. Just playing it on ladder and stuff. There's a lot of space on the map where you can stop shaking your head back and forth.
Hey,
like the probe.
It's going left and right, left, right, left, right.
Alright, dude. So, one thing I want to mention on this map, even though there's 4 watchtowers, it's still a very large map, and there's a lot of space that's not covered that you could use for some type of tech. Now, look at this. Terminator, he wanted to make sure his opponent was getting that 3rd hatchery up, and that's what Stephano is going to do. Gets that hatch up right now. That also reminds me, he did say in an interview, as long as I get to a macro late game, I know I'm the better player and I'll win. So generally, that's the kind of style he'll go for. I mean, occasionally you'll see a player throw in some cheese every now and then, but, a player that's very confident in his macro game is definitely someone to be feared.
And now Terminator getting the cybernetics core up and just playing it off from 2 bases for now. His opponent, Stephano, he took the 3rd base. He's droning up right now.
He is.
Pretty much standard PVC.
Very standard textbook.
Very standard text. Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Textbook PVZ. Oh, this queen may be able to snipe off this probe here.
Whoa, he's gonna see that the 3rd hatchery hasn't been canceled.
That's too bad, because if he didn't see that hatchery, then Terminator may be forced to play a lot safer. Maybe he'll put up an extra cannon, or be forced to send out more scouting units. So he's going to follow this up just with a Zealot and a Stalker. Going to do a little bit of poking and just try to apply some light pressure. Force Zerglings out if possible from the Zerg player instead of more drones.
Maybe even snipe a queen at the 3rd if the lings are out of position. That is also highly possible. Yeah. That's only because I've been able to do it so many times on ladder. Well, that's what Rain used to do. Is like when Rain played PvZ during the OSL, it was the Zal Stalker poke, kill the queen, into the Warp Gate 3 Sentry drop, into 5 Immortal +2 push.
Yeah.
That's what Rain used to do.
It's really powerful.
PvZ, and it's really good.
Uh-oh, that queen a little bit out of position there.
And he can actually go for it if he actually micros the Stalker.
That queen, it's not long for this world.
He could actually sacrifice his Zealot and then go for the queen if he wants to, and that's going to be slightly more cost efficient for Terminator, I feel like. I mean, sacrificing one Zealot.
Second Stalker out on the way. 12 Zerglings are in production right now, but they're going to be slow Zerglings. They aren't going to have any type of speed. 20 out on the way with a Roach Warren following behind this. It looks like Stephano wants to be completely safe against this and deal with any possible aggression that could come afterwards.
Now, Terminator, he needs to start pulling back, at least save the Stalkers, and make sure his Stalkers do not get surrounded, but it seems like he's just going to try to hide as long as possible, killing as many Zerglings while going back home, and he has a Warp Prism behind this.
Warp Prism and Sentry on the way. I love what Terminator is doing this game. He is being very aggressive early on. Look at this now. Stephano forced to get speed for his Zerglings. He knows that's what he's going to need in this situation to kind of hold off his opponent's aggression. But will he be prepared for the Warp Prism? I'm not sure.
Well, it really depends on how much damage the Warp Prism does, and also where the sentry drops and where the force field goes down.
Indeed.
And he's going to use 4 Warp Prism inside. The Stalkers inside the Warp Prism, and we have 3 additional gateways coming out. Stephano getting more roaches out, getting more units out before getting additional drones.
Yes. So Terminator is going to try to, make something happen with this Warp Prism and the Stalkers. At the very least, he will keep his opponent in his base. And 4 roaches are on the way for Stephano right now. Speed is not completed yet, but it's on the way.
Seems like he's slowly taking on the rocks, also opting to take
getting
right
the
base,
queen.
Getting the queen, and lift up, get out, no problem.
That's a nice little, cute little maneuver there. He's going to also be able to snipe off a lot of the creep tumors with the Observer and Warp Prism with the Stalkers in it combo. We've actually seen this a few times, and it's becoming a little bit more popular.
Double Forge coming out by our Protoss player Terminator. Something that we've seen not so much in PvC, but seeing a lot more lately.
Yes, it's definitely, I think, a change to reflect the infested Terran nerf.
Yes.
Now the armor upgrades are actually very useful against anything that any type of mass infested Terran play. Having that +1 armor really makes a big difference now.
Yeah. I think Terminator played aggressive in the beginning of the game just to make sure that Stephano does not get to 200 roaches early on and force him to make a lot more Zerglings, get the roaches out, and he did his job while not only losing 1 single Zealot.
Yeah, he actually did a very good job at that. He definitely messed with Stephano's game plan slightly. Stephano right now, he's playing quite standard, getting his Infestation Pit, getting the +1 attack, the Roach, speed, everything that kind of, complement a normal Zerg army.
And Terminator, he's getting the +2/+2 at the same time, while getting the Blink out, getting more Immortals out, anticipating tons of Roaches pretty soon. His opponent, however, is building 20 Zerglings.
Yes. Interestingly enough, Stephano's Overlords are not spread out around the map. I think he anticipated some type of Stargate play. That did not happen at all this game.
I mean, that's what chessboard players love to do.
Yeah.
PvC, get the Stargate, deny the map vision, and Stephano said, I'm not giving you any of my Overlord.
Huh. I have to say, though, Terminator is playing very solid this game. Overall, everything seems to be going his way pretty well here. And Stephano needs to go ahead and grab a 4th base because his opponent's getting that 3rd. As a Zerg player, you want to stay ahead of the Protoss player in bases by at least 1 as much as possible.
Moving around with the map with the Warp Prism. Just trying to see if he can actually get rid of the Roaches that are following him. But that's not going to happen, and going to try to find some room to actually drop the Stalkers again. Stephano, he's really far behind on upgrades.
All right, well, he's getting a macro hatchery, and he's getting his 4th base now. So, he's been macroing up for a while now, getting some infestors, just, more units overall. And the longer Terminator waits to attack, I feel like the more the game will equalize out, and the better chance Stephano will have at winning the game.
Yeah, well, like you said before, Terminator, he is really confident in playing that macro game. So he was able to take a small advantage in the beginning of the game with the constant Solid Stalker poke, and now he's moving out on the map with the +2/+2 finishing up. Link also finishing up.
Uh-oh, this is going to be a pretty scary Protoss army.
Oh, well, he was moving out, and then he pulled back slightly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Stephano already has a lot of Spine Crawlers here. I think he's completely ready for anything that his opponent tries to throw at him. Do we have the Hive on the way yet? That's what I want to see. I want to see that Infestor Broodlord unit composition that I know Stephano is very strong with.
Yeah, he's just going to go for it once he gets the tech out, and once he has enough gas and minerals to do so. He is still sitting on layer tech, getting the Spire out, and
I'm wondering where that Hive is, actually.
Does he even have the Hive?
No, he's not even making it yet.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
saying.
That's what's confusing me here, because the Spire, I mean, there's no air units to really worry about. There's the Warp Prism, but he can make a Corruptor or 2 if he really wants to kill that off.
There we go, and one BM Zealot.
It's like, open up the floodgates.
Not before you line up.
Imagine those units with the Brood War pathing trying to get through there. It would actually never happen. The units would never get through there.
Yeah. All right, well, +1 air is on the way with the +2 carapace, but Terminator slowly poking around the map. That's 5 Immortals looking really strong. +3 also on its way. I think Terminator is going to slowly poke out poke out and start attacking once the upgrades finish.
All right, interesting. We have an Infestor here. I think it's just there by a mistake, though. Oh, well, he's going to use it.
Seems like he's going to try to use it, but Terminator, he's going to get out with the Warp Prism, no problem. And he does pull back the Zerglings to actually deal with the harassment, but that gives the cue to Terminator to push down the map.
I want to point out something very interesting here in Stephano's game plan for the day. He has been almost consistently making spine crawlers throughout the entire game.
Yes.
Like, there's got to be at least 20 spine crawlers. I'm not even, like, joking. There's got to be at least 20 spine crawlers out by this point. And that's going to make this really hard for Terminator to push into. And I don't think whatever he has planned is going to actually work here.
Well, he's going to slowly poke in, seize the spine crawlers, and going to wait for additional pylons and reinforcements, but that's tons of Archons. The one thing that you really like, the Archon Immortal Zealot.
Well, it's not that's not necessarily the build that's going on here, because it's supposed to hit before Broodlords. He will technically hit before the Broodlords, but I don't like the idea that there's a lot of Stalkers in it. But besides that, it's a very powerful and potent composition here. Can he push through this? There's still so many Zerg units here, and the Protoss supply is falling down a lot right here.
Yeah, and the Immortals are getting picked off one by one. That's still 6 Immortals still alive for our Protoss player Terminator, which means that he'll be able to deal huge DPS in the Warp Prism, just moving around the Zerg's main base.
Yes, indeed. All right,
now,
so
seems like he wanted to find the Spire and possibly try to snipe it off before the Hive actually goes up. The Greatest Spire actually gets finished, but the Roaches are there in position, and he's going to be forced to warp in somewhere else.
I would like to see a few Corruptors out just to finally take out that very annoying Warp Prism. It's been there, constantly being a thorn in Stephano's side the entire game here, but there is no way Terminator can actually attack into Stephano's army here. He wants to be aggressive, but there's way too many Infestors, Spine Crawlers, and just Roachlings to really deal with it.
I would also like to see him tech up the Stargate as fast as possible and start getting the Mothership, because if not, then once the Broodlords come out, he might be in a huge trouble.
Yeah.
So it seems the Greatest Spire is still out on the way, and seems like Terminator is going to try to slowly poke in with the competition
Parasite
on the Archons.
So smart.
So smart, and attack, target firing on the Stalkers and the Immortals. Very smart play coming out by Stephano, using that even before the Mothership comes out, and all the Archons get taken down.
Stephano once again reminding us how smart of a player he is. Would not have expected the Neuroparasite in that position, but now seeing it, it makes perfect sense and is so strong against that. And now with the Corruptors out, those units, they are not going to finish.
And he also sees that the Greatest Spire has finished, so he is getting the Storm.
Broodlords are on the way. So many upgrades starting up right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upgrades are being produced at this point. Broodlords are also being created. Stephano has played this so patiently, so passively, just being on the defensive the entire game. And now that he's defended and gotten everything he wants to get, he's going to slowly finish off his army composition, get the Broodlords, and go for a humongous attack on his opponent.
Yeah, his opponent doesn't have that much gas, which means that he won't have that many Templars out, that many Stalkers, and he also needs to save up 4 additional 700 gas just to get the Fleet Beacon and the Mothership, and that's still far away from this point.
Stephano is still sitting comfortably on 4 bases. He has got a nice bank right now. A lot of minerals. There's a huge amount of minerals and a very, very healthy amount of gas.
And Zergling run by.
And you know what he's doing with these units? Oh, he may actually do... Oh, wow.
Nice warp.
Very nice
timing.
reaction.
Yeah.
One does get in, though.
Now, Stephano rated really well, but all he has to do is sacrifice the Zergling, sacrifice the Roaches, and trade them for 7 more Corruptors.
Yes, that's all he has to do here. Just slowly throw away units. Get those Broodlords out. He already has the Infestors. They have to have so much energy by this point. Another Warp Prism out for Terminator. It looks like he wants to do a little bit more harassment here against Stephano, but I don't think it's really going to work. It hasn't worked throughout most of the game, and I don't think it's going to continue.
Yeah, this is going to be that one composition that Protoss players like to cry about. The Broodlord Infestor composition.
Well, nowadays, I feel like it's a lot more manageable.
It's a lot more manageable, but without the Mothership.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Seems like he wants to poke in slightly before the Broodlords pop out, but...
Well, he does have a few Broodlords here.
Yeah.
Oh, Terminator is waiting for this attack to lose a lot of its momentum, and then he's going to warp in Zealots as soon as that a lot of that army dies. But no, I guess he's just going to back off for now.
And he has so many drones that he could just sacrifice tons of drones into spine crawlers, make more drones, or just trade them for a better army. He's sitting on a huge bank, so he could do that right now.
Well,
now,
the gas is gone for the most part, but he has pretty much converted that to Broodlords at this point.
Right now. Just right now. He was sitting on like 900 gas, and now he's sitting on 160. So he's slowly taking more bases around the map. Stephano, Roaches are caught out of position, but they're going to get taken out. And seems like he's trying to sacrifice the Roaches for more army. And that's a +3 air.
That is the +3 air. That's actually so scary, getting the +3 air. You don't see that too often in this matchup.
I've never seen that.
Burrow is well on the way. 4 Infestors, 3 Broodlords. Oh man, this Zerg army is just getting scarier and scarier.
Well, because of that, he's going to warp it inside the main base with the 2 Templars and the Zealots, and he's going to hide it until the last second to get the Storms out.
Yes.
And kill tons of Zerglings, and maybe Infestors, or even put the Storm on the fort base.
I'm a little bit concerned for Stephano. I feel like he threw away a little bit too much. Now, there's 48 Zerglings on the way. I think Stephano realized that, oh, I actually threw away too many units here. I need to make some more units here. I'm not sure if Roaches or Zerglings are better in this situation. Terminator has a lot to deal with both, which is probably the biggest issue and concern here. And that's actually really cool by Stephano. He has one of the hatcheries there, not rallied, and I'm pretty sure by this point it's on purpose because he's anticipating more drops coming from there.
15 Broodlords out on Stephano.
Oh, that is just disgusting.
But the mothership is out. We don't have that many Archons, however.
We actually have no Archons.
No Archons.
And not a large amount of Templar. Here we go. We have a harassment coming in from Terminator here.
But he already has tons of spine crawlers already. And all he wants to do is storm some units or even kill some Infestors with the feedback.
I don't know if it's going to work.
Well, here's a counterattack on the fort base, and Terminator, he's going to have to blink and kill the Zerglings, but will that be enough?
It's going down so fast.
Goodbye.
Those Zerglings have 3-3. They have the adrenal glands upgrade. They are cracklings at this point. That Nexus went down so fast.
So fast. However, he does have tons of gas, and Terminator, he is getting Colossus out more Templars. I would like to see those Templars actually getting morphed into Archons at this point.
So we're starting to approach the 30-minute mark. It's 26 minutes into the game. I feel like a lot more time has passed, though.
And the mothership slowly moving out on the map. He could still win this game if he gets a perfect Vortex.
Oh, yeah. Terminator is actually not in a bad position. It's just that Stephano's had so much time to get the 3-3 upgrades, and there's an insane amount of Infestors and Broodlords out, and it's going to become a very, very scary army composition soon. Actually, it's already really scary.
As a Protoss player, do you want to engage into Zerg's base, or do you want to draw in the army?
It's preferably not engage. You're looking for a point where the Broodlords start to get grouped up, but I think Stephano, is he going to go for attack here? Oh, great fungal there, able to get off a lot of those Templar there.
By killing, also getting a nice storm on the Infestor, but not a great trade for Terminator. He lost 2 Templars for 1 Infestor.
Not a good trade at all.
Yeah, not even killed the Infestor, right?
Yeah, there's, I think, just the Infestors in the red.
Yeah. Now, we got up to full upgrades for Protoss Army, almost full upgrade air for Stephano.
This is like such a scary position for Terminator because he can't actually attack into the Zerg army. There's way too many spine crawlers. He's going to have a very tough time kind of like egging Stephano out of this position. And those Zealots are all just being thrown away there, but they're not needed. Same with the Immortals. They're not really needed. Okay, it's going to pull back the Immortals, but actually he's got to be careful. They're going to get bungled there, and then they're going to get taken out. This may prompt Stephano to attack.
Well, he's going to try to storm as much as possible and save the Infestor. I mean, the Immortals, but it's not going to work out. And Terminator, he's just going to be forced to get more Archons out at this point. We still don't have any
18 Broodlords, dude. 18 Broodlords.
18 Broodlords, no Archons for Terminator.
20 High Templars.
20 High Templars, so he just wants to pretty much storm everything, morph them into Archons, and then put them in the toilet.
Yep. I mean, that could theoretically work, but I think he's just going to make some Archons. And that's what it looks like. He has 15 High Templar now, so he's already made 3 Archons.
Unless he magically lost 5 of them. There we go. Archons are out on the way.
I'm actually beginning to think Stephano isn't ever going to attack. I don't think he's going to actually attack this game.
Are we even going to have a time? Because both players do not want to attack. We had that happen in Brood War, actually. I don't think players realize that, but there was a match between Zhongbi and Flash on Blue Storm, where both players were pretty much maxed out, but there's a nice bungo going on the Stalkers, and the Brewers will be able to take down the Stalkers. However, Terminator is sitting on a nice bank, so he is able to remax out right away.
He is. And this base by Terminator, I think it may actually get taken out here if Stephano chooses to do the attack, but now we're going to have a big engagement here.
Well, it seems like that's not the full unit of his... Oh, Neural Parasite going down on the mothership, and he barely gets it out. He still has... Was that a double or that was a double vortex?
It was a vortex and a vortex, dog.
Oh, man, with the mothership gone, Stephano can slowly creep out on the map.
There is 1 High Templar and Infestor in there.
Comes out, it's like, wait a minute, I thought that was our vortex.
It's time for Stephano to push and win the game now. He killed the mothership. He's killed the majority of that Protoss army. 171 to 200 supply. +3 air armor is on the way for Zerg. I can't remember the last time I've seen that. I don't think I've ever even researched it in my entire life. But we have it here.
I didn't even know it was possible to get up there.
It goes to +2 and that's it.
It's like up to +1, maybe +2. +3 is like, you're just wasting too much economy on the upgrades. But now we
have
that
the economy
+3,
from Stephano, though.
Yeah.
So at this point in the game, Stephano, he's taken a very large lead. He was able to take out the mothership. He completely destroyed the army of Terminator. Now Terminator, he has been able to remake some of his army, but I mean, Stephano's bank is just out of control.
I mean, he needs to Terminator, he needs to wipe out Stephano's army completely.
Like twice.
Like...
More Broodlords on the way.
Yeah, more Broodlords on the way. I mean, I'm just thinking right now, if he wipes out completely and kills tons of hatcheries before the second wave of army comes out, then he'll be able to deal with most of it because it's going to be Corruptor based, not Broodlord.
Yeah.
But Terminator, in order to win the game, he needs to make that happen. That one vortex.
He does now.
And tons of Archons in there.
Stephano, he's just kind of patrolling around here with some Broodlords, trying to do some Zergling harass, but not really going to do too much at this point in the game.
Also smart by Stephano is he split up all of his Broodlords while before pushing out.
Also, this is such a scary army. 9 Broodlords are on the way for Stephano. His army is just... Wow, that's so scary. 55 drones, so like not even too much of his economy is hurt by that, but he doesn't have something like 70, 80 drones, kind of, hurting his army composition as well.
Yeah, Stephano just making sure that his opponent doesn't have anything to come back into the game.
Well, this is a big attack here, and there's no mothership involved in this army. Stephano is going to lose this base, I think. His Broodlords, they're too slow to get there on time.
Well, it seems like he also lost tons of units, and he's going to pull out once the Broodlords arrive, and one Archon is going to get caught out of position, but the mothership is slowly creeping its way over there.
Oh, no!
Nice
Infestors!
On the Infestor spot! Seems like he's going to slowly creep forward, and there isn't any There isn't, the Archons are pretty much losing all of its energy. The Colossus are getting taken down by the Corruptors, which means that the mothership even cannot get there.
They can't get there indeed. So some Corruptors do fall here, but there's still 9 left. 20 Broodlords, 7 Infestors still alive.
And those Corruptors that didn't get killed, that he could just change that to Broodlords anytime, anywhere he wants to do.
Well, he's maxed out right now, so he can't actually
okay.
Now, besides that, he can.
Yeah, he's just sitting on tons of supply. And Terminator is also trying to turtle as much as possible, also trying to kill as many bases. But he's not sitting on a huge bank. Look at the supply. 200 supply to 167. And Stephano, he could distance mine. He could ignore that one cannon. Because once the Brewers arrive, it's like, cannon? Psh,
cannon? What cannon?
What cannon?
Wow. Actually, that was a really nice cancel by Stephano there. I thought that was going to die instantly.
Well, it seems like he wants to save as many minerals as possible to make more Brewlords when he can.
Indeed. Terminator not even maxed out right now. 170 supply, 36 minutes into the game. He does have powerful army, but uh-oh, these Broodlords, they have no support, but the high number of Broodlords are going to force those Stalkers away.
Killing one Broodlord, small victories for Terminator, but he needs a huge one. Like a...
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be winning these small little wars and defending against a few battles, but he's not winning the whole battle right now. He's not winning the war, essentially.
And even in the big battles, he is still losing pretty terribly against Stephano here.
The last mining base.
This could be the biggest, this could be the last battle of the game here.
Well, the Templars are in position to get nice storms on the Broodlords and gets pretty much every single one of them. The mothership is there, and here we go!
Recall.
Here we go. Seems like one.
Oh, is it going to be enough?
It's not going to be enough. Seems like he's able to take down all the Corruptors, and now, where are the Infestors? Seems like Stephano trying his best, but here comes the Infestors, and everything
so
in
close.
the Infestors. Now,
but the Corruptors are out now, and they're going to be able to kill off that mothership.
So can he actually take out the Broodlord? Seems like there's nothing he can do. There's few Blink Stalkers in the back, but all he has to do is morph those Corruptors into Broodlords, and right now, Terminator, he can't even deal with the Broodlords that are out on the field. What is he going to do? When those new Broodlords come out, all he has to do is GG.
That's all he can do right now.
Yeah.
This is it. That hatchery is almost dead. There's some Stalkers that are trying to do their best they can, but there's just way too many Zerg units. GG!
Stephano showing who is the best PvC player, or CVP player in this world, and slowly creeping forward to get the victory for EGTL.
I gotta say, that was one of the most passive Zerg versus Protoss games I've ever seen, but man, did Stephano make it work.
All you have to do is play passive, get the Broodlords out, get the Infestors out, and win.
Yeah. So Team 8, they were hoping for 3-0 at this point, but Stephano, to Terminator, he wasn't a match for him, unfortunately.
So ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with the next set. It is going to be Argo going off against Puma.